power is always in your hands at this point. You know what I'm saying? If you just take my advice, you're gonna always have the power in your hand. Walking away, ooh, when you walk away, baby, I'm trying to say right now, times you have to move around, shake the scene, because now I'm gonna check you. Oh, watch. Just watch. Welcome back to another episode of Her Creation, where the girl you were meets the woman you're becoming. To all my new creators, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And to the Kreation crew, you already know how we do. And we're going to get straight into this episode. Now, today's episode is actually a requested video by one of our lovely Kreation crew girls. Okay? This person specifically wants to know, how does one really demand respect respectfully without stooping to someone's level? How do you stay calm? How do you remain this higher vibration in the midst of maybe you being disrespected, chaos, whatever? Just simply not stooping to someone's low level. First and foremost, I just want to stress that it is really important for us to possess these qualities while we are creating our realities, because we don't want to shift in low and high vibrations back and forth. We want to kind of try to maintain a high vibrational frequency. We want to maintain the frequency of our higher selves, so that way we're in alignment with our desired realities that we're trying to manifest. Okay, it's very important to do that. Now, I truly believe that I am the queen, okay, of respectfully checking a HOE. Okay, but I wasn't always like this. I grew up being very passive, very timid, too nice, very nice. And when I became an adult, when I became 18, that shifted from, okay, I've been so passive, I've been letting all these people walk over me, to now being extremely aggressive. And so the thing is we gotta have a balance of being kind, but standing on business. Okay? Respecting other people, but then demanding that respect right back. So, first and foremost, when you are in a situation and somebody's either disrespecting you, or you feel the need to set a boundary, but you don't want to stoop down to their level, the first thing, my advice would be to first pause, just like this. Pause. Pause and take a minute to take a deep breath. I do this all the time. Even before I knew what I was doing, I done this because it helped me to start responding instead of reacting to whatever just happened. So taking a pause and taking a deep breath, honey. Okay, baby. Take that deep breath and ground yourself in that moment to fully kind of just process, this hoe just said what they just said, and that pissed me off. And now I feel angry. I feel very upset. Taking that moment to pause and really reflect, I'm telling you right now, it's going to calm your whole entire nervous system down. Your nervous system is like, you know, in that moment, you get real mad, your blood pressure go up. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. And you can even tell them in that moment, give me a minute. Give me, give me a minute so that I can process. And then just take your minute. Take your minute, baby, okay? The next thing you want to do, okay, is now that you've taken a deep breath, you're going to feel a bit more calmer. And so since you feel a bit more calmer, you would naturally then just have a lower tone of voice. More of a calm tone, soft, just lighter, not so like, you know what I mean? My problem is that I can sometimes sound like a smartass, and I can't help it. But hey, it's either that or me cussing you out. So Yeah, let your voice be a little bit softer. And a lot of times when you let your voice be softer, that takes the next person's energy and aggression down a few levels to meet you where you're at on a more calmer, cooler, collected tone. Okay? To kind of get them to kind of just relax a little bit, calm down. Okay? Because now I'm gonna check you. Oh, watch. Just watch. Now, you taking control of the situation, you don't have to be loud. Now, after you done took a little minute and you may have said, you calmed your voice down, you said, I just need a little second, you can either decide in that moment, do I want to respond right now? Or do I want to take a little break and we're going to actually come back to this at a later time when I'm really calmed down? So if you want to take a little break and you want to calm down first, say, hey, you know what? I need a little minute. I'm not really feeling the vibe of the conversation right now. Let's just try this again later. And then walk away. Walking away, ooh, when you walk away, baby, I'm trying to say right now, they're gonna be like, what? Did this heifer just walk away from me? When we supposed to be arguing, we supposed to be toxic? I sure did. I sure did. And with me walking away, now I have the power. I have the power. Why do I have the power? Because I walked away. Since I walked away, you have to now wait for me to come back or for me to respond back to you or hit you up or initiate the conversation that then makes you feel like, okay, well, they walked away from the conversation. They kept their cool the whole time. They walked away. What did I do? I must have messed up somewhere. That's how they're gonna start thinking in their head. You have the power now. You have the power because you decided to walk away. Oh. Now, if you want to check the whole right then and there, here's a few things that you could say. Don't kind of go at it like, oh, you're being so disrespectful right now. I don't like that. Don't do that. Go instead of saying that, say honestly, with what you just said, that made me feel very, very, very disrespected. I didn't like how you said it. I didn't like your tone, and it really made me feel this type of way. So instead of them feeling like, oh, you're attacking them or whatever, they then feel like, okay, she's speaking her truth, and her truth is not attacking me, but it's truth. You get what I'm saying? Now, even after doing all that, if they're still persistent in being toxic and they really just want you to stoop down to their level, just let them know, like, I understand what you're saying, but I stand in my truth. You're entitled to your opinion about the situation, but I'm also entitled to my peace. So I'm just going to walk away from this. And maybe later we could talk about it. When you're responding instead of reacting, you are literally in power of the situation. You're in control. And they can feel that as well. So when they are feeling that, now it's kind of making them kind of like have to reflect on what they did, how they showed up, all these different things. You know what I'm saying? If they truly care about you, then they'll check it. But if they don't, then that just lets you know right there it's a sign that, hey, you shouldn't be in my life. Now, it's one thing to set the boundary, but it's another thing for you to respect your own boundaries that you set. And in doing that, sometimes you have to detach yourself from that person. And sometimes you have to move around, shake the scene. What's so powerful about this, about you respecting your own boundary, is maybe in that moment they might be like, "Oh, she'll be back," or whatever, or she'll calm down, whatever, or she'll let it slide. Oh, silly you. What happens is they start to feel the detachment that you are now going through. You know how when you in a relationship and you break up with your boyfriend and then, you know what I'm saying, the first few weeks you just crying, you just so hurt and like 3 weeks, 4 weeks later, you're just perfectly fine, you're great. But then here they come, all sad and ooh. That's because they have felt the energy of they can feel the energy of she doesn't care anymore. She's moving on. She's doing something different. She's not watching my story. She's not texting me. She's not calling me. She ain't popping up at my house. She don't care. She's moving on. And if she's moving on, that just sends a signal that, hold on, wait, what I needed this person for which wasn't love or anything like that, but for their own ego strokes and for their own power and their own control over you and situation, they want to now get that back because they feel that grip is now being loosened and they don't have control over you anymore to make you move how they want you to move. And so detachment is very, very, very powerful because not yeah, they gonna come back around. They coming back. They coming back. It's up to you whether or not you're gonna let them come back and how you let them come back. That's a whole nother story for a whole nother day, baby. Okay, so if you do want to actually talk about that a little bit more, let me know down below in the comments because honestly, I've had a few situations like that, and I'm telling you right now, when they come back, that's how you shift the dynamic of the relationship, and that's how you're going to get them to conform to how you want them to treat you and how you want them to act. To summarize it all up, first and foremost, okay, in the situation, in the moment of things being chaotic, you want to take a minute to pause, ground yourself, deep breaths in and out, calm your nervous system down. Second, if you're feeling the you're feeling like, okay, let's respond, get out the way right now, do that. If not, tell them, you know what, I need a minute. I'm gonna take my time to kind of reflect over this. I don't like how it's making me feel, and we'll talk later. That also puts the power in your hands as well. But if you do want to talk about it, okay, instead of going at it like, oh, don't forget, keep your voice calm, keep your voice low, so you can bring them back down. Send them back down a few notches. Send them back down because once you send them back down, then instead of phrasing your words like, oh, you did this, you did that, and blah 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 blah, and this and that, right? Instead of attacking, tell them how you feel. Tell them what had just happened and how that made you feel. Hey, well, when you said X, Y, and Z, that really made me feel disrespected. I didn't like that at all. Or when you did X, Y, and Z, or you said X, Y, and Z, that really hurt my feelings. And I thought that we had a different type of understanding. You see what I'm saying? So after you do that, give them the opportunity to speak their piece and say what they had to say. And if they continue in that bull, move around, detach. Power is going to be in your hands at that point as well. Power is always in your hands at this point. You see what I'm saying? If you just take my advice, you're going to always have the power in your hands when it comes to dealing with people like this. Okay? Okay, so before we get out of here, we're going to get into our next segment called This Is So Her, where we are going to discuss. You guys are going to tell me down below in the comments what are your This Is So Her moments. So you could have manifested anything in the past week or past month, whatever, or if you have done something to make yourself feel good in the process of you creating your reality, like you went on a spa trip, a vacation, and you just feel like this is just so her of me to do this thing that I've done or manifested this thing I manifested, let me know down below. And so I'm gonna go ahead and tell you guys what mine is. What did I do? Oh, so I've actually manifested getting hired on at a CDL training company where I am going to be training with a company to get my CDLs and then I'll work for them for X amount of time. And so my point of doing this was just for me to really be able to make more money and invest into her creation because that's what it's really all about, baby, okay? And also just being able to travel a bit more. So I've actually manifested being able to get approved for a class because I was struggling, honey. I was stressed and depressed about whether or not I was going to get into one just because I have some things on my driving record from like 4 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, and a lot of places be looking at the past 5 years. So I was able to get into one of those programs, and I'm so excited to be starting this new journey. And I'm gonna keep you guys updated. If you want to know more, let me know down below. But I love y'all so, so, so much. It's your girl Connie, and you have tuned in to another episode of Her Creation, where the girl you were meets the woman you're becoming. And I will see you guys next time.